Howdy guys, how's it going? Let's start off by saying I hope everybody had a very Merry Christmas. So this right here is our first overnighter right after 2023's Christmas, right before the start of the new year. Unfortunately, we're having a very strange warm front come through these past couple of days. Today the high is right or at 60 degrees. And it's going to be dipping down to around 37, 38 degrees tonight. And now that's actually kind of a very, dangerous weather situation, especially with how wet it is, because it's been raining for the past 2 days. And it's been just kind of on and off with really light rain and just a constant mist, really. We're a bit protected in this dense set of pine. And then I brought a very large tarp here. This is a 10 by 12 from Titan Survival / TA Camo. Very first time using it, but there's a lot of things about this tarp that I already love. It's got tons of tie out points, and something you rarely ever see on any tarp is it also has these tie out loops and stuff on the underside so that you can hang stuff from it. It's got this reflective material on the inside, and the quality of it seems pretty top notch. So going to be using a lot of the same old gear, but with new things like this new oilskin poncho. It's Outback Trading. I fell in love with all their oilskin stuff. We got our surplus USMC Bivy. We got the green patrol bag from the old Woodland system. Got the Bushman Gear sleeping pad using my old reusable emergency space blanket as our ground covering. And then I've got this new saw, which we're not relying on a fire or anything, so this is overkill. Jesus, if I don't smack myself in the face with it. But yeah, this Wayland Outdoors saw, this is the compared to the silky version, this is like the largest saw of this type that I know of on the market, and I really like Wayland Outdoors products. I've been using them for a hot minute now, plus this one is just as good a quality, but it's cheaper. So we will be sawing some wood with this bad boy, and I don't know, something about the saw is just sexy to me. It's got the umph to it. But yeah, I am going to go ahead and get the sleep system rolled out. And if you're curious, I don't like taking and folding out my ground covering to fully cover the underneath of my tarp shelter, because I found I just constantly kick leaf debris and garbage up underneath it. I don't mind if anything gets on top of the bivy bag and stuff itself, because we'll keep it zipped up. But we'll just have that for the footprint, and this oilskin tarp is actually going to be what we kind of use as our ground mat, working mat, because anything we set on that will stay nice and dry. It's nice to be out. I'm looking forward to it cooling down. I'm glad I kind of went with the clothing system. This is a British military shirt. I know it looks very similar to the United States one from Misty Mountain Supply. That's where this one come from. So I just think it's really cool to try out surplus and military gear and stuff from different countries and just kind of see how it compares in feel and functionality. But yeah, we'll take and get the sleep system set up and take it from there. There you see we got our green patrol bag, our sleeping pad, and I just realized I forgot to bring that flex tail pump. So I'm going to have to blow this up by mouth, which is fine right now. We'll just leave it deflated and do that later. We'll just make sure this is zipped up good. Don't need a tarp this big. I got this oilskin poncho to actually be a part of my wool blanket winter camping bedroll sleep system, and that's what I was actually wanting to do right here after Christmas. It's just too warm in the day, and a lot of times whenever you have these really warm spells hit, then a lot of the creepy crawlies that's been hibernating in the debris and stuff will come out. Not that we haven't dealt with those before and stuff, but just for a nice relaxing camp after Christmas. Stick with the old tried and true method here. The saw is 1000% a winner. Oh, it's time for a little bit of a pre-supper snack. This is a jalapeno cheese-filled fatty meat stick. These things are so good. Okay, one thing I wanted to show you guys real quick. So I was walking through here, and where we've had all this wind and this bad weather, this is a squirrel's nest that has fell out of the tree. Now, even though right now it is soaking wet, let me switch hands here. Taking and just pulling it apart, there is still some like dry stuff in here, and this is just one of the best natural bird nest type of material that you could ask for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and go up here and break it up and shake it out and let it, see if I can let it dry out for about 30 minutes, and we'll try to use it as our fire starter. Well, we're in this, thick pine forest where these lower limbs have been damaged. I'm going along and collecting some of this hardened pine resin, and we'll mix that in with our natural tinder bundle as well. That squirrel's nest is not going to be dried out in time, but I got my set here. I was able to find a very good amount of pine resin. I took and cut off a piece of the stump from this tree because it's not the best, most impregnated fat wood ever, but we got some tiny shavings there. We got some pine sap covered pine cones, and we got some of our wood stuff prepped over here, so that's what we're going to be going with, and we're just going to let our squirrel's nest dry out and we can use it some other time. But we're going to start by putting our resin right there, and you want to, to the best of your ability, without losing any of it, kind of just open it up, kind of just expose the innermost workings of it, because it'll probably have a lot of bark attached to it. Go ahead and dump most of that on there. So let me get on the other side here, and then put these shavings here. Now I'm hoping that these shavings haven't absorbed too much moisture, and these pine cones are not ideal either We got them on the standby. We got that stuff, and I'm hoping that resin on the bottom will catch, but like also too, everything is very wet. Just might take a couple strikes. Oh, hello. Okay, like I said, so that's that fat wood shavings. I think that's actually what caught to begin with there. Alrighty guys, well the wind, or I should say just a very light breeze, is blowing the opposite direction that it normally does, putting smoke under here in waves. But we got an MRE. This is menu 22 beef goulash. I've got a couple of these I've been meaning to eat that I got from MRE Mountain. I just took and opened them up and repacked them, but I kept all the components. I didn't take anything out. Some people do that with theirs, but I just like to repack them. And Jesus, this tape has like fused to the package. I don't know why. I've never had it do that to that degree before. It's been inside, so I don't think it's got too hot or anything. But I do not remember everything that's in this orange beverage powder, strawberry jam, whole wheat bread, peanut butter, sugar cookies, the applesauce. I really want to get into that. Spoon, accessory packet, and then our heater and our main. Just a splash. Oh, but it is hissing. I'm going to go ahead and down this applesauce. That always goes down quick. Oh, there comes the smoke. But yeah, our heater is rocking and rolling, luckily. I don't really want to eat anything else until we get back to that. This is one of those that is kind of overly sweet in that they give you that bread, so that's kind of like a PB&J situation, and then you got sugar cookies and applesauce, and then you got your beef here. So I gotta see if that bread goes decently with this or not. If it does, then we'll eat the bread and maybe save the peanut butter and jelly for something else, or split the bread and do a 50-50. That right there should be nice and heated through. Oh, yes, sir. We are are dandy. Let's get that there. Ooh, it is steaming. That's partially due to the fact that it is cooling off a bit. I've just been going back and forth to the fire there. I think I thought that I am going to eat the bread with the main. I just don't really want that much sweetness. Show you that without dumping it. Oh, yeah, I'm almost too hot to eat. That is really good. Well, guys, I'm going to take and finish eating this and probably just eat them sugar cookies, and everything else I'll put back for later or some other time. And just wait for the old fire to die down. But I am getting I'm getting pretty tired. I do believe it is about time to hit the hay. The fire's pretty much completely gone out. Got all my stuff repositioned here. We're all in this bad boy. I went ahead and inflated everything. And I like this light right here because I got this little remote that I can turn things on and off with. And I've got, like I said, I've got 2 different fleeces with me. But I mean, I've been chilling by the fire waiting for it to die down. And looking at the weather, it's not going to be getting down to that 38 to 40 degrees until like, 3, 4 a.m. So I think it's just best if I stick with just having this on. Because once we get in here and get all nice and warm, probably won't even be able to sleep with this part on for the first little bit. That where we want it. We'll get all cozy in here, and I did just realize I left that little remote out there, but I'll get that later. So I'll talk to you fine individuals in the morning. Good morning, guys. Oh, it is a very calm and peaceful morning. Like not even a light breeze now. Still a bit wet. It's a bit foggy around like right when the sun come up, so like everything is still pretty damp and moist. I was going to say I don't think it got down to about like 40-41 degrees because I mean I had to vent and like keep the sleeping bag off my core for a good bit up until like the early morning. And even though I slid down and I've kind of like compressed some of the sleeping bag against the bivy itself, like having these knee pads kept my knees from getting cold because of that. But just for it to be the tail end of December, it is disappointing that it's warm at the moment. But it's supposed to get cold again very soon, and I'm still crossing my fingers and my toes that we will get some snow. But yeah, everything did good. You know, this wasn't really a full-blown test for this tarp. It just, because I mean, it ended up being pretty dang mild, but we will be getting this bad boy out and really putting it through its paces for sure, because I do love the just having like the loops underneath and everything, and then just a 10 by 12 solid, a lot of cover area. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this one. So as always, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch the video. Please hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share the channel and the videos with your friends, family, anybody that enjoys good old outdoor activities. Make sure that if you're curious about any of the gear used, check the links down in the description. I'll try to link to everything that I can. Yeah, just looking forward to the new year, and I will see y'all in the next video.